Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Kike. I hope you're well. So today I'm back with another video and I'm going to be talking to my sister Kemisola. You might remember her from a video I did a couple of months ago where she opened her results on camera. So it's been about 5 months since she's been at uni. I've been getting a lot of questions about it, but I just want to make it clear, I'm not the one who went to uni in Bulgaria. She is. I just went to visit her in that vlog. Thank you guys so much for the love on that vlog. So yeah, she's going to be answering all your questions. If you do have any other questions, just comment it down below and then I'll get her to answer. She doesn't answer my texts when she's at uni. Okay. So
I answer.
We're just going to I'll answer them as she answers me. But yeah, okay, cool. Let's hop into it. So obviously she said she goes to the Medical University of Plovidiv, which is in Bulgaria. Can you tell us a bit more about like there's mad unis in the UK, like how did you end up in Bulgaria?
So I think you all saw the video before. Or if you didn't, go watch it. It'll be linked up on the top over there.
I hate you! Go ahead.
So I applied to 4, because you can only apply to 4 in the UK.
For medical schools.
For medical schools, and I applied to 1 backup. I was rejected from all of them. And then, so it came to results day and I thought, oh, like, I thought anyways, I've been doing well at school, maybe my school would help me, like maybe the government wouldn't screw me over. That didn't happen.
But they did! So yeah, that was good.
Yeah, so I had basically no choices, and yeah, I packed my bags and I left.
Right, okay, so she skipped so much of this story because I packed my bag and I left. No, she was so upset. When my parents told her to apply to Bulgaria as a backup, she was like, I'm not going to need this, I'm not going here. When it turned out that she didn't obviously get into a uni in the UK, she didn't want to go. She was like, I'm gonna reapply next year, like that's what I'm gonna do. But my parents were like, yeah, cut the cameras, dead ass, that's not happening. So you was telling us about the exams you needed to do and kind of what grades you need.
Okay, so as I said before, I applied through a company. So there's different companies. There's Tutelage, MedConnect, and loads of other ones. I can't really remember them at this time. So there's an exam that you have to take, 1 in chemistry and 1 in biology. And then you have to do a lot of documentation and stuff like that. And then they basically just help you to apply to university.
Okay, so in terms of grades that you would need, like from your A-levels, just tell us what grades would you need?
I would say grades aren't really, you just need to pass the beginning test.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that's important at all. Okay. But you'd need to have done biology and chemistry.
Okay, so you need to have done biology and chemistry and it doesn't really matter. So in terms of I would say why it doesn't really matter is because obviously when you go to university in a different country, you pay. It's not free. You obviously pay to live there, you pay to go to uni there, but unlike in the UK, you won't get any a student loan. Yeah. So do you know how much it costs?
It's about $8 grand a year.
So obviously $8 grand a year is a pretty hefty sum, and she obviously is quite in a privileged position to be able to do this. And obviously we know that it's not for everyone. Like everyone can't just say I'm packing off to Bulgaria, but obviously that was an opportunity that was available to her, so she took it. So let's move on. So going to Bulgaria is it's a completely different pace. It's a different, we live in London, but Eastern Europe is completely different to Western Europe. Yeah. So was there a culture shock when you went there? Do most of the students speak English, or did the professors speak English? Tell us a bit more about that.
So yeah, there was a big culture shock when I went there. I just wasn't expecting it to be so different. Obviously I knew the language was different, so the alphabet is not the same. It's a Cyrillic alphabet. So I'd been trying to learn the alphabet beforehand, but I didn't realise that no one would basically not a lot of people speak English, or the younger people speak English, but the older generation don't really speak English that much. And the alphabet, so the signs and everything is different. So it was a massive culture shock. Most of the students that I'm surrounded by are British. There obviously are Bulgarian students there, but they're in a different subsect. And then there's the English medical students. And to be honest, it's quite diverse. You have British people, Italian people, German people, a lot of different people there. But all of them speak English, or like they can kind of speak English, so you can communicate with them.
So do you guys all, like with the Italian, so obviously you have the Bulgarian people, they're taught separately to the English students because obviously all their lectures are in Bulgarian. Mm-hmm. With the English students, are your lectures in English?
Yeah, our lectures are in English.
Okay, cool. So with the Italian and German people, is it like you guys are all together and all being taught in English, or is it like Italian students get taught in Italian, German students get taught in German?
Split into basically groups. I'm in a group and there's basically 13 other people in that.
Okay.
But with Italian and German students, most of them are in the same group. So Italian people will mostly be with Italian people, German people will mostly be with German people, but we're all taught in English. Like it's all in English.
Okay, cool. So how many students on average would you say like that are international?
I would say about like 200.
Okay, cool. So that's actually pretty good because there's about 200 students, but it's 13 people to a group. So do you feel like you get more one-on-one time with your lecturer, or it's easier to communicate with your lecturer? Or
yeah, I feel it's a lot easier to communicate with your lecturer. If you're struggling, it's much easier to talk to your lecturer and have them explain stuff in lesson, because most of the time if you don't understand something, someone else in your group doesn't understand it either. And I feel within the group of 13, but that's just for practical lessons, they really are able to go in depth if you don't understand something.
Okay, that's cool. So in terms of like how you're taught, tell me a bit more about like what subjects are you taught? Because obviously in first year, just talk about first year for now, but what subjects are you taught in first year, and then talk to me a bit about
colloquiums.
Say it again.
Colloquiums.
Can you guys say that word? Because I can't. Like, I feel like, why can't you just call it mini tests or tests? But anyway, explain that and go ahead.
It's the professionalism of it.
Oh, Pele.
Yes. So first semester, I was taught medical physics, biology, chemistry, Bulgarian, Latin, and anatomy. And then as I'm going into next semester, I'm going to be taught something different. So yeah, like we're learning a lot. Like we have practical lessons where they like sometimes go into depth of what they did in lecture, or sometimes they teach us completely different. We have lectures as well, and we also have PE. I forgot that on a Saturday morning.
It was the smile for me when you said on a Saturday morning. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. So.
Oh, I'm bearing in mind obviously Bulgaria is 2 hours before UK time, so
yeah.
9 o'clock is like 7. So like 7 o'clock in the morning, you guys are jogging around, doing your thing.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
So obviously we're taught in those lessons, we buy textbooks, and I think it's pretty much the same as an English university, like we're basically taught the same thing. But then like every 2 weeks or so, but at the end of the topic we get a colloquium. In that colloquium it's marked from 1 to 6. To pass you have to get 3, which is 60%, which is a lot higher than England, which is 40% to pass. But I think that breeds better doctors.
Sorry. I think that breeds. You're hilarious. Sorry, go on.
Anyway, as I was saying, a 3 to pass, and then a 4 would be for a 4 70%, a 5 80%, and a 6 90%. Now, if you get a 6 in your colloquiums, which is 90%, then at the end of the year when you're doing your final exams, there's some bits that you don't get tested on again because you got so high in it. So the tests are pretty often, but I think it gives you a good time to really consolidate your knowledge and make sure that what you've been taught in the lessons, you know it, rather than leaving it all until summer exams and then you're stuck because you don't know the information.
Okay, that's cool. Because I was going to ask, like, do you feel like it's a lot of pressure having those exams so often, or do you think they're useful?
I think they're quite useful. I didn't want to spread this, but I can spread this. In the beginning, physics, I was really struggling with it. Other people were able to understand it because they've already done A-level physics, but I hadn't done it, so it was a bit difficult. So I did the first colloquium. I saw a 2. I said, it's time to study. And as you know it, I passed it second go. So
yeah. She said top of the class.
Anyways.
Okay, so talk to me a bit more about the people. So before I ask this question, I'm just going to say, so in the last video that I did about Bulgaria, I obviously touched on the fact that we experienced racism, and I feel like in the comments, a lot of people were trying to like, I don't know what the word she uses, but I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm just asking about her experience. I understand for some people who haven't experienced racism, obviously things are different in different countries, but like, this is based on our experience. I just want to make that clear before I ask the question. But what I was going to say is, what are the people like? What's nightlife like? Have you experienced any racism? Like, tell us a bit more what it's like living in Bulgaria.
So living in Bulgaria, I would say, yeah, I'm having a lot of fun. I like the fact that I'm in a different country. Like, you have to expect different things. I think in the UK, racism is quite subtle. But like, you know, like obviously I have been called an N-word before. Like that is just their language, and I've come to understand that now. At first I was a bit like, okay, but I've come to understand that's just their language. Like,
that's the word they have for black people.
Yeah.
Not justifying it, because obviously it's still offensive, but like that was part of the comments I was getting a lot, was like, this is the more polite word to refer to a black person.
Yeah, so that is just their language, but I wouldn't even say I experience it that much, to be honest. Sometimes a bit of shock when people see me, and I feel stares on me at sometimes, because obviously like they're just not used to the people. I would say the nightlife, I myself am not really that much of a party goer.
Oh shit.
So, but if you are a party goer, yeah, there's loads of clubs to go to. Obviously, that's been affected a lot by coronavirus. It likes the fact that it wasn't just first years. Like, there were a lot of years going out to party and stuff like that. So you got to mix with different people from different years and hear stuff. There's also people who throw house parties, so you're able to go to those house parties and meet people too. I feel my experience was, kind of cut short with the whole pandemic and lockdown and stuff like that. So I didn't really get to experience it much this semester.
So in terms of black people in Bulgaria, like, are there many? Do you feel like you have a community over there, and what is the black community like in Bulgaria? And are they mostly English or Bulgarian people? Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah. I haven't met a single black Bulgarian person there. I've met, actually that's a lie, there's some pastors there, and they have mixed race children, and I would think they're Bulgarian, but apart from that, every other black person I've met there is international. I would say that there's a lot of community. We have ACS, Christian Union. I think they even have an Islam group too.
That's cool.
So like the black people were very nice. Like, if we see each other, we smile at each other. Like everyone knows people, because this is quite a small community of black people. Majority is Asian people. They obviously have Bulgarian people, and I've seen a couple of white people here and there. But yeah, there's a small community of black people, and just like that's what I liked when I first got there. Like, there was a community. They all knew each other. People came up to me and said hi. They like waved at me. They were very friendly.
Yeah, so that is something that I would comment on, obviously, as someone who's been to uni in the UK. I'm not saying black people in the UK are stush, but like, they're stush. And it's like a completely different experience over there. Like, so when we first went in the trip of the vlog, obviously that'll be linked above, we met somebody, like, we saw people, we was in a restaurant eating, we don't know any of these people, and like, people who are black and students would just come up and be like, oh, are you just starting here? Like, just bust conversation, which, like, personally is not something I experienced when I went to university, but like, they have that kind of community over there, and I really like that, because I feel like in Bulgaria, you obviously, when you go to uni, it's the first time for a lot of people that you're away from your parents, and it allows you to feel support. I don't know if I've got your experience correctly right, but it allows you to feel supported. Like, you feel like, okay, if I had a problem, then, do you know what I mean? Like, there's people around who could help me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you touched kind of a bit on the pandemic and coronavirus. So like, aside from the nightlife, which obviously is a big part of it, like, how would you say coronavirus has affected your university journey, or so far?
I would say quite a lot, actually. I've only met people in my group. They're quite lovely. I've been able to chat to them, but I feel I've made the effort to go out. So I joined ACS. I joined Christian Union. So I've been able to meet other people. But like, I haven't been able to meet all of my year groups because we don't go to lectures. So I don't know everyone in my year group. Like, yeah, so I just feel the coronavirus has really stunted me going out and meeting people, because there isn't much places to meet people. Like, loads of people are scared of going outside, obviously, because of coronavirus. So you don't even get to meet everyone in your year group.
So in terms of learning as well, like, how has coronavirus affected that?
So like, it's mostly online. When we started, practicals were in person and lectures were online. But then as the cases grew more and more, everything went online, and that was around maybe November or end of October, early November. So we've just been online. I feel that for me personally, like, I'd already made friends and I like being alone, so sometimes. So, like, that was fine for me. But for other people, it could have been quite isolating because I live by myself and you don't really get to see your friends because they have lessons in their houses as well. So you're kind of separated from people.
Yeah, I guess it's like not as cut and dry, but I guess it is about like making effort to meet people, which if you've watched any of my uni series videos before this, I always say like when you go to uni, you have to beg friend. If you don't, you'll be alone. You have to force it. You have to be that annoying person that's like, oh hi, like. So talk to me a bit about the accommodation, what it's like, how like you found accommodation and how people usually find it.
So accommodation, your agency will help you find it. I've already had a family friend who goes to Plovidiv, so she really helped me. So she gave my dad the number for us to call, and then I was able to find my accommodation, and I love my accommodation. But I feel, although I love my accommodation, it's quite far away from other people. So if you want to get accommodation, I would recommend mostly Kavala or places near Kavala because it's near the university and also near other places where people live. So you're more able to get to know other people in a year because you live close to them. There's other people who are very far away. Some people who like have to take a bus to university. So I'll just keep in mind where the university is and where your accommodation is because you're the one who has to be getting back and forth every day.
Yeah, that's good advice. And I would say as well that as somebody who has been to a UK uni and has seen her accommodation, you guys saw a snippet of it in the vlog that I posted. Again, a link to that. But it's so much nicer, guys. It's so much nicer. Like, they have full-on apartments. Like, you know, okay. When I was a kid, I always used to dream that when I was like 20, when I went to uni, or when I was like maybe like 18, I would be living alone in this like studio apartment and it would be so spacious. I got to uni and that was not my story. But that is her story. The accommodation is so nice. Like, it's just so spacious and like you can have one person. It's usually about up to 2 people that live together usually, right?
Yeah, usually. I've known some people who can have 3, but it's normally like 1 to 2.
Yeah, 1 to 2. So it's very normal to live alone and it's very spacious and the rent is not that bad, is it? It's pretty good. You're not paying as much as you would pay in the UK, I can tell you that. Well, say in Bulgaria, but as she says, she goes to university in Plovdiv. Tell me a bit about the differences between studying in Sofia. Is it Sofia, Varna, or Plovdiv? Those are the 3 places where there's university. Tell me,
I would maybe also do your own research, but from what I know so far, Plovdiv is kind of just like a city. The people are quite close. There's not that many people. Like, if this could be bad or it could be good. If something's going on in your life, then like, or something major happens, then probably other people will know too, because the university is really not that big. So like, people know each other. So, and I find that quite nice. Varna is even smaller than that. When I was talking to someone, they said that if you like, they walked up a street and basically you know the whole Varna. So
wow.
It's really like it's not that big. It's quite small. So I would guess you would have an even like smaller, like a tighter community.
Right.
And then Sofia is the main city. So
Sofia's where all like the beaches and where people go on holiday.
Yeah. Sofia, like if there's going to be a concert, it's most likely going to be in Sofia. So yeah, I wouldn't say bigger and better, but I would say it's definitely bigger.
So in terms of commute from Plovdiv to Sofia, is it long? Like,
it's about 2 hours. Some people take the train. Train takes about 3 hours. Train is longer than a bus. I don't really understand that, but yeah, train takes 3 hours, whereas if you're taking like a bus or taking a taxi, it's about 2 hours.
Okay, cool. So talk to me a bit about like the best and the worst parts of like going to uni in Plovdiv. Start with the worst.
I would say one of the worst is a lot of it it's going to be self-taught. Not the lecturers, they obviously do their best. They give you the information. Just with the way that it's taught, it's a lot of self-learning, a lot of reading textbooks, a lot of going over information and consolidating it by yourself. I can't really compare that with UK because I think in the UK you'd have to do the same too. But I think this is just medicine in general. Like, if you don't want to study, don't come. Like, there's no point wasting your time. You know, you've come all the way over here. You're here for a semester. Not actually, they'll give you longer than a semester. They'll give you a year here, and they kick you out, and you have to take your bags. That's embarrassing. If you don't want to study, calmly stay home.
And I think that's just in general for medicine as well. Like, I feel like there's certain degrees, or every degree is hard, but there's certain degrees where it's like, you know, a lot of it is going to be reading, studying, self-taught. Like, if you're not prepared for that, I feel like maybe just think twice about the degree that you're doing. And bear in mind that for a lot of people, it's your parents who are going to be paying for you to be in a different country. So, you know, think about, is this what I want to do before you get there? You know what I mean? The best part?
I would say the best part is being in a different country. Like, you experience so much, like just learning the Bulgarian language, like just going around and seeing like the sights, like and the history, like when we first came learning about like the 6 mountains, and just like the ability to be able to climb those mountains, like just look around and just be somewhere completely different that doesn't feel the same.
That's good. So you touched on the Bulgarian language. So do you need to know the language to study in Bulgaria, or?
They will teach you. I would say before you come, try and like grasp the alphabet, because obviously that's different. But they'll teach you that again. They're quite slow with it. Like, they don't expect you to know all of it when you first come. They'll help you. Like, I've talked to a couple people, and they're in older years, and still they're not fluent in it. So you mostly need it when you go into the hospital, to talk to patients, and with that there'll be someone there to help you. So just try your best. Like, expect to know the language, to be able to talk with the locals and stuff like that. But like, it's not compulsory. Like, oh my god, I'm not good at languages, I can't go. You can still go. Like, it's not that deep.
Okay, so what advice would you give somebody who is coming to study in Plovidiv or Bulgaria or abroad?
The advice I would give them is, you're in a different country, have fun. Obviously study hard. Make sure, make life easier for yourself by doing well in your colloquium so you can get more off at the end. But have fun.
So advice for packing. We're not going to go through every single thing you can pack, because obviously you can find lists online, but like general advice.
So I would say clothes, shoes, seasoning, because there's not much seasoning in here. And stuff that you can't find here, like stuff like medication, or I'm saying maybe bring a couple of, if you're a vegetarian, bring some options of food, because there isn't much here. But like stuff that you can specifically only find here. You don't need to bring your whole wardrobe. Like, you're gonna actually have to fly on a plane, and it's expensive, and don't waste your money if you can get it over there.
Yeah, I will just emphasize, she struggled to find like vegetarian options, and we went to, because they have Lidl, they have a Kaufland,
a
Metro, which, like, they're big shops. It's not small stuff, but it's just difficult to find. So vegetarian food, like frozen food, probably you'd need to bring. It's okay. So final question. Would you recommend, like, if you could go back and had a choice out of British uni or Bulgarian uni, would you like choose British or?
I would say to you guys out there, like, try your best. It's like, there's no point not trying because you want to go to Bulgaria. Try your best to get into a British uni. I feel even Plovidiv is good. You're gonna get the degree, but the teachers, their first language isn't English. So sometimes, what they're trying to convey isn't easy to like understand.
Right.
So try your best to get into a British uni. But like, obviously, if you don't feel that sad, you can always go to Bulgaria. Me personally, I feel, at first I was really upset, because I really thought I was meant to go to a British university. But after I went there, I really enjoy it. I've made really good friends, and I really enjoy the course and my like accommodation and everything about it. So I don't regret it.
So that's all the questions that we have time for today. Thank you, Kemsa, for answering my questions. As I said before, if you have questions that you feel like we haven't answered, drop it in the comment box and I will get back to you. If it's like loads of questions, then maybe we'll make another video about it when Kemsa is back, but obviously she's going back to Bulgaria very soon. Yeah. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. If you didn't like the video, go ahead and leave a dislike. And yeah, I'll see you guys next Sunday. Bye guys.
Bye.